real quickly, Alex has a buyer workshop tomorrow off of social media. Never really knows his people, so it's kind of a little different. And that's a normal concern, Alex, just so you know, like I fully understand the concern of not knowing somebody compared to knowing you're somebody, you feel more comfortable. What I will tell you is, and I tell everybody the same thing, is I treat everybody the same. My brother, we did a workshop just like I do with everybody else, right? So whether it's my brother, somebody else, don't matter. All the process is still the same, right? The one thing that I do a little bit different with somebody that I do not know is I spend a lot more time just opening the sale, okay? That's breaking down resistance, creating that relationship, asking questions about who they are, where they live, where do they work, all those types of things. Do they have any kids, have any goals, just things that are schmoozing. I know, Alex, you don't watch basketball probably that much, but if it was me and I'm like, hey, you're watching the NBA playoffs, I would do everything that I could to kind of just build a relationship prior to asking questions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I would spend more time on the opening and just get to know them first, but then I would go right through the workshop, and then I would do the workshop identical as anybody else. Would have no differences there at all. Because I'll ask questions right at the beginning. Hey, before we get started, going through the workshop. I mean, now that we've got to know each other a little bit better, I just want to know, do you have any real estate questions that you would want a realtor to answer before we get in here? And they might be like, well, yes, I have A, B, C, D. Okay, great. Let me answer those questions for you first. Make sure I get that all dialed in for you before we get started. Because right there, I've just basically built a relationship and built trust. 1-2 punch before I even go into my presentation, right? If they have no questions, not the end of the world. You just know that there's a little bit of resistance still there, because usually somebody's coming to a workshop has questions, right? So if they don't have any questions, just know you got to do a better job building trust. That's all. Okay.
And then use the workshop.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
And then I would basically, just use the workshop, like Ryan was going to say, and I'll let him say what he was going to say, but use the workshop as a tool to build value and trust. Like that is its whole job. Like that is the job of a workshop. The workshop there is to build value in you and to build trust in you. And that is what you're using it there for, right? And the fact that you have a presentation you're going to walk people through, and it's not just a bunch of words, is really, really good.
Yeah.
Right, go ahead and add whatever else you want to add in.
That was it, really. I was going to say, use the workshop as a tool, especially if you're going to use it as a tool regardless, but especially if you're getting a client that you're having a tough time breaking resistance down with, use that workshop as a tool to break down resistance as you go, add value as you go, right? So be conversational. It's a two-way deal, right? Especially if it's a one-on-one, you want it to feel comfortable and personable and casual enough where they can just kind of go back and forth, right? So use it as a tool to gain trust and provide value.
Yep. 100%. So that was what I would do, Alex. And honestly, be you, right? If they are coming to you because they're following you on social media, right? They see who you are, right? So just be yourself. Like honestly, there's no reason not to be somebody different, right? Because they came to you because you met them on social media. They follow you on social media, so that's what they want to see. Right? So be you.
Got it. Good. Yes.
Awesome. All right. Sharon, what do you want to work on again? Sharon.
Maybe the booking a workshop.
Okay. So booking the workshop with who? Who are you booking it with? Are you booking this with
first time. Actually, I'm gonna go door knocking right now. Let's do door knocking.
Okay. So well, first off, anything that you're going to do prospecting wise, you have to have a plan, right? So what's the plan when you go door knocking?
I'm going to go door knock Holbrook Heights right now. And then normally what I say to them, I'm door knocking around the old listing that I had in Concord.
Perfect.
And so normally what I say is, hey, I helped sell a home to one of your neighbors in this neighborhood. And I was just talking with all the neighbors to see if you might be interested in getting a home analysis or know of anybody interested in buying or selling anytime soon.
Okay. And how's that work so far for you?
It opens up a lot of conversations.
Okay. How are those conversations going?
Pretty good. But nobody's interested in selling right now, but I always do like follow-ups and things like that.
Correct. Okay. And that's prospecting. Sharon,
Yeah.
let's show, right? Your job is to be front and center with people when the time is for them to want to do what they want to do. You know, I know in a perfect world, we want to knock on a door and these people are ready to sell, but it's just not the case. I'll give you an example of circle prospecting, right? Yesterday, first call I made on circle prospecting for Michael's listing in Pleasant Hill, the condo.
Mhm.
I said, hey, I said, hey, this is Chris from E3 Realty. You're probably wondering why a realtor's calling you right now. But look, honestly, we're selling the property 375 Camelback. And we just want you, all the neighbors to know there's been a lot of activity. And we just want to see if you have any real estate or mortgage questions you want to have answered by a professional. And she's oh, cool. Well, yeah, that's a 2-1, right? And I go, yeah, okay, it's cool. You've been watching the market a little bit. She goes, yeah. I got a 4-bedroom. What do you think about a 4-bedroom? I go, well, depending on, the price point, everything else. I think Pleasant Hill's got great schools. I think that the reality of it is a 4-bedroom will do extremely well because it's going to be affordable. It's not very easy to find an affordable 4-bedroom in Pleasant Hill. And she goes, yeah, no, it's kind of what I'm thinking in general. I just, I'm thinking about renting it out. What do you think I can rent it out for? And I said, okay, well, let me ask you a couple questions in general, where you've been, where you're from. And she grew up in Walnut Creek, moved to Pleasant Hill because it was a little cheaper. I said, okay, cool. So this is kind of more of a stepping stone. She goes, yeah, I would have loved to have been in Walnut Creek, but I couldn't at the time. This is kind of what I was able to afford. I said, okay, well, no worries. I said, when'd you buy? She said, 19. I said, great. I said, awesome, you bought 2019, so you made some great money over the last couple of years. Yeah. I said, well, if you were going to buy something else, have you saved money? Were you going to take money out of the property? Like, what was your goals? And she's like, well, I don't really know. I haven't thought that far in. I just, I'd like a little bit more space in general. My kids are off to college, but I don't really want to stay in a condo anymore. I prefer to kind of get a single family if I can, even if it's a little smaller, but I just want a yard and everything else. I said, okay, great. No worries. I go, is there any time frame for you? She goes, no, not at all. I said, well, look, I can tell you right now, based off of what I'm looking at the rental market, you're probably between 35 and $4,000 is what you can probably rent this place out for, give or take. Now, what you want to do long term, we can kind of make another appointment to kind of go over that. She's like, no, not right now. I said, okay, well, I appreciate it. I said, well, when the time is right, I just want to make sure I can be the person you reach out to answer any of your real estate questions. And she said, absolutely. I appreciate you giving me a call. Is this the best number? Yep. She's like, I'm saving it on my phone right now. And you just follow up, right? That's the reality of our industry, right? The money is made in the follow-up, right? So I take that person out of Expresso Agent, I put them into KV Core, and I put them on a quarterly follow-up for now. It's just once a quarter, I'll reach out to her and say, hey, I know we had to talk a while back. We sold Camelback. You're thinking about maybe renting your place out in the future. Your kids are off to college and all that kind of good stuff. Just want to see how things are going, right? So if you're doing something and it's working, don't change it. That is the purpose of it. I know we want to make something perfect to try to grab business that day, but if it's working and you're following up and they're picking up your phone calls, don't change it. Now, if they're not picking up your phone calls and you're door knocking, something that I would recommend doing too is say, hey, if I was to door knock with you today and I sold the house in the neighborhood, I would say, hey, hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, my name is Chris. I sold it at one of your neighbor's houses down the street, 375 Camelback. And I'm just going around to the neighborhood, introducing myself, and just want to let you know if there's any questions you have on the real estate market. I know the news has been crazy over the last 12 months. And so I just wanted to see if there's any questions you would like me to answer.
Yeah. What could I get? Well, you already answered the right question. Is right now a good time to buy or even sell my home?
Well, listen, I tell everybody the same thing, no matter what the season or year is or what's going on. There's two things that matter for buying a property. It's got to make financial sense. And then the timing needs to be right. So I guess the question really becomes is, how's your financial position right now? You've been currently at your job. Everything seems to be good there.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're currently renting the current place you're currently at right now?
No, I own this home.
Oh, you own this one. Okay. So we think about maybe upgrading or downgrading. Like, what was your thoughts there?
Well, I don't even know if I'm ready now. It's just, you just came to my door and you asked me this question. So this is my first time ever even thinking about possibly making that type of a decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no, I'm not looking to, sell you a house today or help you buy a house today. But for me to be able to figure out kind of a plan for you of an idea, I can tell you kind of what your goals are. I mean, if you had to choose a place, like let's say, I mean, the next place you'd want to live, would it be in state? Would it be out of state? Like, what are your thoughts? I mean, what would catch your interest in making a move?
Probably in the state.
In state, okay. So in state, keep kind of close to family and work and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Well, listen, always I will tell you the two things is timing and financial sense for buying and selling a house. And the only way to figure those things out is kind of having a full-on conversation. And just kind of get an idea if that does make sense. And I'll be honest with you, most of the time when I have these conversations with clients, over 50% of them, it doesn't make timing or financial sense. And that's okay. Our job is just to kind of be your real estate advisor and basically figure out what your options are when the time is right. Most of the time, when I talk to people like yourself, is there's usually a neighbor that they know that might want to be interested in selling, and I go over there and I help that neighbor sell their house and all that kind of good stuff, and then I just keep the relationship going. So at the end of the day, it sounds like right now is not the best time, and that's okay completely. There is there a neighbor around here that you think has either told you they were looking about selling, or I'll be honest with you, is there a neighbor you want me to get rid of?
Yeah, the neighbor across the street.
There's always that one, right? Which one? Point them out.
The one with the truck in the front.
The one with the truck in the front. Okay, I won't go tell him that or anything like that. But what I will do is go knock on their door, and I'll do my best to do my part. Does that seem fair? All right. So I'll go knock on their door. I'll give you kind of an update in a week or so, just kind of let you know what's going on there. If there's even a thought of them selling their house, I'll let you know right away. How's that sound?
It sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So what I'll do is let me go ahead and knock on some more doors and stuff like that and introduce myself to the neighbors. Is there a best email and phone number to give you any sort of updates?
What kind of updates?
Either market updates or what's going on in your current neighborhood, so you kind of know what's hitting the market and what's not.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And I'll repeat it back to you, boom, 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 whatever, good to go and move on, right? 'Cause remember, this thing just fell. Remember, you're not selling anything, right? Like the job isn't to sell somebody something because there's nothing to sell them, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to have a conversation. And when you got resistance, why was there resistance?
Because they weren't sure.
Yeah, because they thought I was a salesperson trying to sell them something, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to understand that you're not trying to sell them something. You're trying to just help them, guide them, answer questions, right? And sometimes I'll tell people that, like, hey, decline. Dude. Sorry.
So that's good. So it has to make financial sense and the timing has to be right.
Has to be right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so just know, like, at the end of the day, like, you're going in there. And I would tell people that, like, listen, I have nothing to sell you. I can't sell you anything. I can't ask for your credit card. So no worries here at all. I promise you. So some people get a little resistance or stuff like that.
Solar.
I don't know what happened over there, but
I said solar.
oh yeah, solar, absolutely, 100%. I could sell them solar for sure. That's
Wait, why
right.
can I not
Ryan,
hear
baby,
you?
better be door knocking, sell some solar.
Oh wait, my phone muted. My phone silenced you for some reason.
All
What did you
good.
say?
I said that's Ryan's job. He should be door knocking, selling solar.
Do you want me to mention that when I go door knocking the solar thing?
I would say our company does it. I mean, why would you not mention it if it gives you an
Okay.
opportunity to talk to somebody about something?
I mentioned it yesterday when I was talking to the homeowner, so he says he
Yeah.
might be interested in it.
Yeah, say I
Where's
don't
that at?
say I don't sell solar, but one of our owners does. He's got it all under control. If you want him to give you just a quick initial call to introduce himself, I'm more than happy to set him up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I would do. And I would go in there with kind of like a flyer of the area, what's actively on the market or pending or closed in the last 90 days. I'd have all my data
Mm-hmm.
and I'd hand that off to everybody.
Okay.
If I knock on the door and they don't answer, I'd leave it at the door, right? Because remember, they do not know you were there if you don't leave anything.
Okay.
They'll never know,
Okay.
right?
Cool.
So that's that. Anything else?
No, that was a good one.
Good,
I
because
was
you're up.
asked, do we have in marketing studio? the new, I think you said last time I saw you last week with Rob, you were working on like an updated seller and buyer workshop, or like updating it in
It's
the market.
updated, yeah.
It's updated already?
It is updated for sure, 100%. I believe it's in Canva though. I don't think it's in the design studio. So let me ask Rob where it's at and I can figure that out.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Cool.
Question, and for KV Core, you know, we were doing the present, or we went over the present. So those presentations, is it similar? Like, so I was just kind of quickly going through it when we were there, right? But there's no like editing to it, right? It kind of just formats it for you and fills it all in. Because that's what it
What-
seems.
For what? The design studio?
The KV Core present.
Yeah, no, there's no editing. No, it's just, yeah, it fills it in for you. I mean, you can edit like your criteria, like, okay, I don't want to go 6 months out, I want to go 90 days out, or I want to go half a mile out, or I want to change it to, like, you could change that stuff if you wanted to. I don't ever change it because, you know, the whole purpose is to get it out as fast as possible, get conversations like.
Oh, so the core present is, so it sends it out. So it's a presentation that it sends out for us.
Yep.
Gotcha. I was like, I
Does-
thought that was a whole other, you know, what do you call them? The platform that you can create a presentation out of there as well. But gotcha, this is like an automated presentation that just gets sent out for you.
Correct. Yeah, it's not like Cloud CMA where you could kind of create your own and do all of that. This is more of a presentation to kind of get it out to people, and it sends it directly to them, and then you have all the analytics in it. You know, that's why, like, you know, getting through 25 of those days very easily. And then you just, and I would follow up with everybody who opens it. Like, hey, this is Alex over here at
Gotcha.
E3. I sent you a CMA on your property value. I noticed that you had a chance to open it up. Did you have any questions on your current property value? Or what did you think about your current property value?
Yeah.
So just give you guys a heads up there. All right, Sharon, door knock, your turn. You're up.
Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Okay. Hey, my name's Sharon Lopez. Stop it, Ryan. Okay, this is recording. Anyways, hi, my name's Sharon Lopez. We actually helped. I actually helped one of your neighbors sell their home above asking price, and I'm just talking with all the neighbors to see if you might be interested in getting a home analysis or know of anyone interested in buying or selling anytime soon.
Who are you again?
Sharon Lopez. Sharon Lopez. I'm a local realtor in your neighborhood, and I just helped helped your neighbors sell their house.
Which house?
Oh shit! I usually have that on my phone.
On your
That was
phone?
hella
You don't have it memorized when you walk into.
That was hella long ago.
Okay,
What
so
is
so I was
Get
hard
your
on you.
data.
I was hard on you on purpose. Okay,
What?
I was hard on you on purpose. You should know the data.
Yeah.
You should
I
not.
know.
If you're gonna go into door knocking, you should know every single sale in that house in the last 6 months in that area. You should know what they went for. You should know the pendings. If I was to ask you questions right now, would you be able to do that on the houses you're gonna go door knock today? I can tell you right now, the answer to that question is no.
No.
Okay, so going to door knock without a plan, without knowing what's going on in that current market is a waste of time.
Okay.
Okay, so just
Agreed, 100%.
take that as tough
Okay.
love, but I was hard on you and I was not even that hard. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I could have asked you questions like, okay, well, what's going on in the current market? What's the, somebody could ask you, what's the average square footage? What was the last house that sold in the area?
Mm-hmm.
What's currently active around my neighborhood? And what would you say? I don't know, right? And so-
Yeah.
Yeah, look, especially if you're going into Holbrook Heights and it's a home that you sold how many months ago?
No, years ago. It was like right when I
Years
came to
ago,
the
right?
company.
Like you've got to be up to date with what's going on right now, because you got
Right
to
now.
imagine that whoever you're talking to, they're
Mhm.
gonna have questions. If they don't have questions, then whatever. But most people are gonna have questions. Like you're at their door and you're talking about, I'm a real estate agent. I helped your neighbor sold a house. Well, which one? Oh, that was 3 years ago. Well, what the hell's happened in the last 3
It's like a
months,
year ago.
right?
Yeah.
Well, and what's the number one concern that most people have, right? If they're listening to the headlines, it's not that the real estate market's great, it's that the real estate
Yeah.
market's shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Know your
If it-
data.
if it's
Okay.
just been that, that you sold the house a year ago there, I mean, you don't have to use that house as your example. You could just be like, oh, did you know 3 homes just recently sold in the last week in your area? And then you just kind of tell them the stats, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be something that you had your hands on or a part of. Essentially, you
So-
want to let them know that you are aware of the market, especially their neighborhood. That's probably the
Look-
route I would take, because I mean, I haven't had any hands-on on any listings that you guys have worked, but if anything, I'll take at least my 2 farms that I have and just look up there. I know my sister's here, in Mira Vista, like a house that I was looking at with my client that was listed at like 6, I think right at 600 went for like 710. So I'm like, it's like something crazy like that. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. All right, Sharon, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's this at?
Where's what?
Where's this address at?
It's on Huron,
And what
Huron
city?
Drive in Concord.
Concord, what's the zip code?
94520. 945. No, 94519.
19. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right, what's medium list price?
The median listing price is around 850,000, 800,000.
Average days on market?
I don't know.
Oh. Okay. So,
Okay. So your suggestion before I go door knocking to pull up all the stats, run all the numbers. Should I print it or have that on
yeah,
my phone?
it doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to print, doesn't hurt to have it on your phone or on a tablet, wherever you have, but here's what I would do, okay?
Okay.
I would compare 94519 to Concord as a whole. So I
Uh-huh.
think you're gonna be surprised,
Mm-hmm.
number one, in Alto, so that I'd have both those reports ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I would also look at all the current data for last sold pendings in 94519 within quarter mile radius, half mile radius, wherever you're gonna be basically doing your door knocking. And I would know
Mhm.
this inside and out.
Okay.
Once those are done, you're gonna come in here today, we're gonna test you. And then when you're good to go, we'll go door knocking.
Okay.
Okay.
Sold pending. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, got it. It won't be door knocking today. Okay, new accountability. If I'm not door knocking 3 times a week, then ask me what the hell I'm doing.
Well, listen to me. I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm asking what the hell you're doing door knocking without knowing the data.
That's a good point. Okay. Okay, I
It's a
know.
waste of time.
Waste of time.
I've never been asked super detailed questions. So, but not saying
But sometimes you gotta drive that conversation, and if you don't have the data, you can't drive the conversation.
you're right. You're right.
And
You're
that's
right.
it. If you don't have the data, you're not driving there because you don't know it and you know it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, I ain't gonna take them there because I don't know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you're
would
gonna
be
go
like if-
super surface level. You're gonna add very little value, and you're gonna be in and out, knocking on the next door before you know it, and they're gonna forget about you 5 minutes after you left.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
would,
Okay,
listen,
you're right.
I would go like this. I would knock on the door. If it was me, I'd
Mm-hmm.
knock on the door right now. I'm like, knock, knock.
Hello. Who's there?
Hey, I just want you to know, my name's Chris. I'm a local realtor. I sold one of your neighbor's houses down the street, but I've been going around so everybody, all the neighbors know kind of what's going on in the Concord market. And you'd be surprised. Everybody I asked doesn't know what's the average days on market in the city of Concord. What's the guess?
20 days, 14 days.
All great guesses, right? But what if I told you it was only 7 days right now?
Mhm.
And
Wow.
right now, 7 days in the city of Concord as a whole. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of inventory. There's only 35 single family homes for sale in the city of Concord right now. Concord's a pretty big city,
Yeah.
right? So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I just want to always go around and talk to the neighbors about what's going on in the current markets and just let them know what what's happening. If there's any real estate questions people have, because we both know the news likes to do clickbait and tell you something that's wrong with the market that's really not there. So did you have any questions on the real estate market?
Is right now a good time for me to sell my home? Even with the interest rates going up?
Well, look, I don't know that answer today because I don't know your financial reasons for selling. I don't know what your end game is yet. And I don't know if it makes the perfect timing for you. Now, if you're asking me directly a question, is now a good time to sell a house in the city of Concord? I would have every sign in the yard right now to sell because there's only 7 days on the market. And we're basically going back to right after COVID's real estate market in the city of Concord.
Mhm.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So yes, I would sell a house, but does it make sense for you now? I don't know that. I don't know if it makes sense for you. Does it make financial sense? We don't know that. But I can always figure out if that makes sense for you long term,
Okay.
right? So I mean, and you kind of go through it and start asking questions. If you were to sell, have you thought about where you would go?
I go to Nebraska.
Nebraska. Woo, that's a big move. Who do you got over there? Family?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Who's over there?
My grandparents.
Grandparents. Awesome. I love that. You must be very close to your grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long they been in Nebraska for?
10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then they moved from California to Nebraska too, or where they come from?
Yeah, they moved from California to Nebraska.
Awesome. Awesome. Getting close to the grandparents. Overall, is there anything else that's kind of keeping you here in California? Is there anything that reason, keeping you here?
I'm waiting for waiting for a job relocation to Nebraska.
Awesome. Okay. So you, same company, different company? What's going on there?
Same company.
Same company. So, okay. So this is actually a plan in motion for you then. Like you're moving to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Well, then you must be very happy I knocked on your door today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, good, good, good. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, timing is everything with this because you're gonna have to basically move and we don't know, I don't know if you know yet, are they gonna have any sort of package to help you move? Like, what are they doing for that? The idea there?
I haven't even thought about it yet. It's just super overwhelming to me.
That's okay. We get that quite a bit. I got good news. We've done tons of relocations. I've done a lot of this in general. I can walk you through the steps by steps and answer all of your questions for you so you don't have to feel overwhelmed. Trust me, moving and a new job is very stressful. So any of that stress that I can take off your shoulders and put on mine, I'm more than happy to. Because like at the end of the day, we're a team and I want to make sure that I can support you to get from here to Nebraska.
Okay. Cool.
So when you put the transfer in, does your company have they given you some sort of timeline of when they think it might be able to happen, or is it kind of have to wait for a job to open up over there? Like, how's that look?
They're gonna have to transfer me first, and then they're going to put me up in a rental, and then I'm gonna live out there. And then I don't even know how that's gonna work out with me selling the house, when that timeline's going to be.
Got it. Okay. Well, look, at the end of the day, if they could put you into a rental, we don't have to rush the sale of your property, which is great. Puts us in an opportunity to make sure that we can basically keep making the payment, get the house in the best position possible to make as much money as possible. I would imagine you'd like to make as much money as possible on the sale of your house.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I can tell you right now, the way our team works, we can come in, we can give a punch list of repairs. We can have our contractors come in if we're going to do anything to the property. We can have our stager come in. We can take care of all that for you. And the best part of it is you don't have to worry about even being here. We can do it all for you. So it makes it really, really easy to get you top dollar because you're basically going to give us a blank canvas to work with. And it's going to allow us to really maximize your profits. And that's awesome.
Okay. That sounds good.
So what I'd like to do is, if you don't mind, if I could either tour the property now, I don't know if now's a good time for you, or if you'd like me to come back with my team, I could be more than happy to do that. What would work best for you?
You can tour it right now.
Okay, well, let me kind of come on in and I'll get my punch list together for you and start putting some stuff together for us.
Okay.
Cool.
How am I supposed to tour it right now? Like, I'm not like I haven't like what am I like I thought I'm supposed to have like all the numbers and like run the property analysis and then set up another meeting like later down the line. Or is it better to like just take a bunch of pictures
I would get it. I'm closing the deal. I'm taking a bunch of pictures there. I'm putting my
Absolutely.
punch list together. If
Okay.
they're letting
If
me
you
in
get
that
an
house,
invite in,
You're
build that
closing that deal.
relationship, take those
Yeah,
pictures, you
absolutely.
close the deal right then and there.
Okay. So don't even wait. Okay.
Hell no. No, I gave you the either or closed. Do you want me to come in now and get started, or do you want me to book a time for you to have my team come in? What do you want to
Okay.
do? Right?
Okay.
And based off of that, I took the close. I'd go in there. I'd take a bunch of photos. I'd walk the property. I'd build my relationship with her even more.
Okay.
I would, and I'd be great, awesome. Well, I need to get your email and phone number, so that way, I can kind of give you an update, and then I'll come back over, walk the property with you, show you what we put in there and all that kind of good stuff. And boom, 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 boom. And I'm building that relationship, and then getting that listing agreement signed. I imagine they're moving in the next 6 months, so I'll get a listing agreement signed for 6 months, and we'll figure the rest out.
Okay. Cool.
So, but just know,
Wait, should I go? Should I do that? Because I'm door knocking. Like, what if they're crazy? Or should I just wait? Oh, wait, this is recorded. Okay, bye. Never mind. I'll ask that later.
just have Alex, what happened here? Somebody help me.
I think all three, if I could see Alex's face, I'm pretty sure his face would look like your face would look like my face. Like, what the hell just happened here?
What just happened?
Like, what if
Right.
they're crazy? They're like, yeah, come inside, give me a tour, and then they, I don't know. Okay,
Okay,
will tell me.
Say no, thank you, gotta go, bye.
Okay,
Well,
whatever. I have a
all
pepper
good.
spray. I get a taser.
Bring your pepper spray. Usually I know you're taking somebody with you to these things. If you
No, I
are,
don't.
great. Yeah, you can say you were door knocking together,
Yeah,
weren't
you
you?
usually go with Stacy.
No,
Look,
no,
if you
I
get the
don't. I don't door
heebie-jeebies,
knock.
then you don't go in the house.
I
right?
don't.
If you get
I don't door knock Concord with Stacy.
Oh, all right. Well, listen, if you have a weird feeling, you don't go inside. Absolutely. There's no money worth your life. So just don't go inside. But you're door knocking to prospect people to talk to them about selling their house. I mean, like if you're
I
having,
know.
like you know, put your pin in where you're at, like, where your territory, share your territory with people and all that kind of stuff. But safety first, always, Sharon. Safety
All
first.
right,
If it
okay,
doesn't
okay.
feel good, don't go in.
Okay.
All right. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna hop off, get on my calls. I got calls to make.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.